Okay, very good. Fine.
It is the 1st of June. This is Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Yeah,
This came off. I don't know if you could get it back on. I tried. I couldn't do it. Oh.
Okay. All right, then we can begin again. Okay, again, this is our second share. We're learning in the Mr. Berura Siman Kufnun Aleph. Yeah, we did yesterday Zion. And we'll begin now with Sif Yud. Sif Yud. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, like to begin?
אפילו אחר שחרבו עדיין הן קדושין, בקדושין. Even after a shul has fallen down or base measure has fallen down, there's still kedusha associated with it. Gushem shenogim bahem covered b'yishuvin kaf nogim b'cheruvin. Just as we give cover to it when it's standing, we give cover to it when it's been destroyed. Hutz me covered the reboots. What is that?
That's by by the flooring of the base Knesset. We'll see. There'll be a specific.
Okay, fine. All of them asavim. If grass is growing on it, tolshin osam and higin osam b'mkomim mishum agmas nefesh. Yeah, you should pull out the grass from it and put the effort into keeping it clean. Kadesh yira ha'am v'ha'ir the sa'id rucham v'yistadlo libnosam. So the people will see it, and they will have rachmanis on it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
Okay. Good. So that'll bring us to Sifkat Chav Ches.
Okay. Lach shecharvu after it's fallen down. Base Knesset base, but the Knesset but the midrashos. But the reason Kusuv v'hashimosi es mikdushechem. The kedusha will remain. Lokasiv et mikudishchem ashimeim. Lahoros lanu the kedushas heim af bishnaton bishkishein shomeim. The kedusha remains even if they're fallen down. Bein chiluk b'zeh bein im heim batakinusios sheber Yisrael. Bein b'chusaros. We don't make any difference whether they're Bati Midrashim, Bati Knesset in Eretz Yisrael or outside of Eretz Yisrael. The Imlo, the Hisnu.
Well, the history, meaning we'll look at the history with that if they weren't made on condition, as we're gonna see about that in Sif Yud Aleph.
The Hisnu, we're going to explain in Sif Yud Aleph, so see it further on. Tolshin also, you pull out the grasses. Ratzalomer muter lotarish otam is mutter to pull out the grasses. Uvad hinachem v'imkomim v'lo yisham misham. As long as you Kadesh Yiro, the people will see it. B'fizeh ba'im sashro basic knesses. You can close the basement just in one place. You move into another place. The datem libnos obim koma rishon. There's no The people aren't going to think you rebuild it in the first place. Ein shayak din zeh, ella yasu neder sevivo, shelo yavo lazalzol sham. This is not shaykh except in the first place to make some sort of a nader that will not desecrate that place. You makom tiakla limkor, the place you can sell it. Kaniskar b'simin kufna gimel, as we talked in simin kufna gimel, yim kuruhu. You're allowed to sell it. That's the taz.
So you have this a lot of places in Europe that were shuls and batei midrashim. So apparently, unless, as we're going to see in Yud Aleph, unless there was some tanai that was made when they were built, even though they might be in a state of destruction, they still remained kedusha. There's still kedusha apparently there.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
go ahead, Lou.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
From what we said yesterday, if there's a shul, it's got a central area where they daven. You walk into the shul. There's a corridor leading to a door, and if you go through that door, you enter the area where they daven.
Right.
Now, alternately, you can go through a different door. There's a door on the left, and inside that door is a little room where sometimes people daven there, sometimes they don't. It's kind of a side room, and if you go through that room, there's a bathroom.
Right.
So if someone needs to go to the bathroom, and he goes through that side room to the bathroom, is that a problem?
I'm not. To a great extent, it depends on how it was built and what conditions they made on that room when they built it. Was that supposed to be like just a side room, or was that supposed to be also like an Ezras Nashim, or was that supposed to be a base medrash off the main shul? It really depends. But in terms of going through and making a shortcut, I mean, if there any other way to get to the bathroom?
Actually, maybe I guess I have to look. There might be another way. There's other doors that enter the shul through the back.
Right,
If I could enter the shul through the back and not go through a room and just go to the bathroom, would that be acceptable?
I'm not sure if you have to do that. If these are basic side rooms, does the room have an Aron Kodesh in it?
I don't believe so. No.
It has Sfarim like it is Safari. There's Sfarim there like it's a base medrash.
There's a bookshelf in there, and people sometimes are in there learning. But I've also seen people in there, with their computers, working on their computers.
Right.
I don't know if they're learning from the computer or if they're just doing business.
Yeah, does it look like it's a room that was set up to learn or pray in, or it was like just like a side room?
It looks like a side room to me.
So, I mean, the best thing would be to ask the Rav, whatever Rav there or the Gabbai, because they would know the history of the room. But again, if it wasn't made specifically that it should be part of the actual prayer areas or the base medrash, so then theoretically you should be able to walk through it, especially if there's no other way to get to the bathroom. Usually bathrooms usually only have one door. I know in England there's a bathroom that has actually two ways of entering and exiting it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to look further.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a good question. Yeah, that making the shortcut is in general, specifically for the places where you're davening or the specific base medrash where you're learning with regularity. But side rooms, I don't think you have to worry about it. But if you have a chance to talk to the Rav or the Gabbai, he might give you the background of what the story with the room is.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
so when I
Yeah.
when I moved to Highland Park, most of the shuls that eventually ended up in Highland Park were originally in a town called New Brunswick, across the Raritan River. And I remember when we moved to Highland Park, we were davening on the weekdays in the old shul, and we just started. They started davening on Shabbos in Highland Park, where most of the people lived. So in the course of time, like what it says here, I guess in the Mishna Berura, I remember that the shul sold the building to Johnson and Johnson, which was a big company, in the New Brunswick area.
Mhm.
And actually, they rebuilt a lot of New Brunswick too, I believe. So that's how Ohav Emet, I guess, got around having to, after moving out, who bought it were able to knock the shul down.
Right. We'll see. That'll bring us to Yud Aleph here. Usually, I think the accepted practice is, again, I don't really know, but you have to know what, based on the board of directors and the founding people who established these institutions, shuls and yeshivas and Bati Midrashim, that they usually make it, as we'll see on it tonight, because usually when you're building in Chutz La'aretz, we're all hopeful that Mashiach's going to come, so you're not building a shul or a base medrash permanently to stay in Chutz La'aretz. You're ever hopeful that Mashiach is going to come and bring us all to Eretz Yisrael, right? So we'll see. That'll be part of this halacha that we're going to see now in Yud Aleph, and that's going to answer a lot of questions and solve a lot of dilemmas that would normally exist if you didn't make these pre-existing conditions.
Okay.
Yeah, take a look in Yud Aleph now in the Machaber.
Okay, Yud Aleph.
Yeah.
Okay. In Bishas Binyan Beis Knesses. If at the time of building Beis Knesses, Hiknu Alav Lihistamish Bo, you made conditions on how you're going to use it. Mutal Lihistamish Bo the Chobonot. It's meant to use the space even if the building's been destroyed. About the Yeshuvu Lomahani, but when it's in use when it's constructed, Lomahani tonight, the Tanaim don't help. If you make the Tanaim after it's been built, it doesn't help. A few the Korban, even if after it's been destroyed, Tashmish Maguna, to do something not proper, not respectful, Kagon, Zaria, the Cheshbonos, like plowing it, planting it, or doing Cheshbonos Shel Rabim for the Rabim, Lomahani tonight. Tonight is not going to help them. The Medivor, what are we talking about? Bati Kinesios, Shabbakus Hors, that the base Knesset is outside of Eretz Yisrael. About Bati Kinesios, Shabbat Yisrael, Lomahani Shum tonight. Tonight doesn't help at all.
So let's see the Mr. Berura explains this.
Okay. Yud Aleph. In Bishas Binyan, the time it's being built, of Allah Akakach, Lomahani tonight, but after so the time don't help Klal at all. Okay. He's the made a condition. Mashma the hold on. The Dafka Shehisnu Befer, they were explicit in the condition of all Mistama Lo Amrinin Al Tanai Hain Asuyos.
So you don't say if there was no specific mention or provision made in at the time of the building, we don't assume that they made it on provision.
Okay. Okay, so you have to have definite tonight.
Stam is like to make an assumption.
Right. Okay.
We don't
Yeah.
assume.
Okay. No problem. Morgan Avram. Delo B'Masasabinian, the Magen says it's not done at the time of the building. Ubelia Rabba Mitzaded Medina Hamasis B'Binyan Shemekel B'Zeh. That conditions have to be made when it's being built, and that you're makel about that. The Churbono, when it was destroyed, Peirush explanation. Also, Tanai, Moel, Shal Achar, Shacharav, Mutal at Shamishvo. Tanai made before the building was built is helps after it's been destroyed to use the space. Of all calls Zaman Kayamas Ain Tanai Moel. The whole time that the building is standing, the Tanai doesn't help. The Yeshiva Lo Mahani, when it's standing, it doesn't help. B'davka la'achila u'shtia, specifically eating and drinking. Oh, lekanes behavior to bring an animal inside. To go. Sorry. B'chama b'mipnei to go inside in the summer because of the sun. Gesham in the winter because of the rain. The ishbezeh mishum kalasos, because then you're going to go in a non-serious mode. Valishar tashmin shim, but for other uses, mahani tonight, the tonight helps. Vayin be'er halach, and see the be'er halacha. Could go in Zuriya such as planting. Pshita de huadin l'chol hadvarim hadizkorim l'kaman the siman. Kufnan Gimel, Sif Tes. And we'll have all other things that are going to be usher in Kufnan Gimel, Sif Tes. Tehim Tashmishe Menuga Biyoter, because these are all very non-respectful actions. So robbing of the population, Davshimilsa.
Yes, it's like Abshimilsa. It's like it's a very surprising thing. Meaning that they're doing like making. I mean, it's hard for I don't think we really know what it means. The cheshbon robbing, like they're talking about having sitting down and like dispersing charity funds or things like this. You like it's. You have a large group of people dealing with lots of different money or different things, distributions and things like this, right?
Yeah, but I'm surprised that things like that wouldn't be allowed in a base Knesset.
Well, I mean, even though if it's going to be something for tzedakah or something like that, there might be some type of a permissibility, but in general, this is talking about maybe just general things. You have to do things in general for the general public, which may not be considered such a high level of mitzvah to permit it to be done in the shul and base medrash. Because what you're basically doing, you're just turning the base medrash or the shul into a conference room or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? There are other things also. We'll get to it later on. Also, you have these cases. I know cases that, for example, like they have bingo. Orthodox schools, they have bingo. Wednesday night bingo, and they use a section of the Beit Knesset, which, for example, like when they're very busy, like Yomim Meroyim and things like this, they push out the chairs into the recreation area, which is usually used like for kiddushim, and they have, like I said, bingo. They have maybe like that, something like that. Maybe they'll have a Purim play or something like that. And the question is, how can they do that? What takes precedence? Is there really something which is used for general public? It's like a recreation area, but on Yom Meroyim they also use it as part of the shul. It was really part of the shul, and they use it for recreation, right? So it's a question how and what ways are permissible to do those things.
Okay, After Milsa, it's surprising you could do this. Yesh Behem Mishum College Rosh Biyoser, because people are going to be very lightheaded, lightheaded in these places. Mashma, the Pri Megadim, the Cheshbono Shel Yachid, B'Chorbo Mutter. That it's mashma from the Pri Megadim that the accounts for a single individual would be permitted to do it when in the destructed area. The Lav Maral tonight, even without a tonight. Berabenu Yerucham, in Yerucham Mashma, Denaka Shel Rabim, we specifically chose to say Shel Rabim L'Revusa as a Chiddush, the Afshahu Tzorech Rabbi, even if it's the needs of the population, the Koch Kain Shel Rab Yachid, and certainly if it just needs an individual, it would be Aser. Outside of Eretz Yisrael, Jane Kadush Tan Olamim, because their Kadush is Olamis, their Kadush is not permanent. Shahare the Shiyavo Hagal Bimhera Biamenu, when the Mashiach comes, we're redeemed. Tikva Kedusham, they're going to lose their Kedusha. Masha Ein Kain the Bate Knesiyos Eretz Yisrael, which is not the case of Bate Knesiyos Eretz Yisrael. Shum Tanai, no Tanai is held the fee. Das Hamagan Avram La'ayel B'Sivkatan Lamedalid Gam Eretz Yisrael Mahani Tanai L'Shar Tashmishim, that the Tanai holds for other uses. Shem Bahem Kalasros, where there's not frivolity.
Right. Okay, very good. Excuse me. Good. Let's continue on with base, Sifyut base in the Machaber.
Yesh leZahir milhishtamish be'aliyah shalgabi beis Knesset. You have to be careful when using the act that's on top of the base Knesset. Tashmish kavua shal ganai, for some disrespectful actions that are permanently go lishkav sham, to sleep there, or shar tashmishim and other uses. V'yesh lehistapek im muter lehistamesh shamin. There are questions about whether you're allowed to use that space. V'kol zeh dafka b'bete kinesios kavua shenivna mitchilas lekach. And it's still talking about base Knesses that were originally built as base Knesses. Well, Bayasha Yachta La'achar, she's well in the base Knesset, but a house that was built and afterwards you converted it into a base Knesses, mutter, I guess mutter to use the aliyah. The ayin shamak shekasuv shenenes b'zeh harbe. And go see what we read about using it a lot. Umasha minhag ha'olam be'ayos she sochrin bate kidisios lizman bevatehem.
You jump to the Mr. Bray. Jump back. Go to the Mechaber. Right. Mutter l'shochev alav. Period. End of Ramon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
Fine.
the Hagar said again. V'chol zeh dafka bebeit Knesset kavua shebana mitchila. That's that lekach. This is all specifically talking about a permanent base Knesset that was built originally for this. Our bias sheyachta la'acher shivna beit Knesset. But let's say there was a bias that was now set aside after they had built. It had been built. Something for the base Knesset, that's something which is mutter to sleep in. Let's see the Mr. Berura.
Okay. Tashmish kavua, melachon zeh mashma delishkav sham b'derech mikra motor. From the language, it's clear that to sleep there, like I guess, just temporarily is going to be mutter. Dibederech mikra lo mikra shkiva. Shkiva Tashmi Shel Ganai, and that this temporary napping is not considered a disrespectful use.
Right.
Yeshi's topic, Im Ledemoso La'alios Ha'azara Delo Nishkadshu. It's a question about whether the aliyahs of the on top of the basic were designated, has a designated kedusha or not. Or even the base knesses, base knesses, base medrash, nikra mikdash ma'at, since the base knesses and the base medrash are called a small sanctuary. Yesh l'rosa la'alos heichel, the kaimelon deniskachu b'kedusha heichel. Then the upper layers would also have kedusha, just like the upper layers in the base mikdash had kedusha assigned to them. L'fim makasav b'shari tshuva b'shem tshuvas per hador yesh l'hakel. We can make in this. Hutz mi makom shalgabe hahechel. It's except for the faces, you're on top of the sanctuary. Rotzalomer ha'aron sham munach sefer Torah, which is talking about the place where they put the sefer Torahs. Sham yesh l'zahir shalo hishtamish. You have to be very careful not to use the space above it. But houses that would just start off as houses. Near the Kosher Kane im Bashar Shenivnu Base Knesses Nivnu Base Dira Lamala Mimeno. And at the time they built, similarly, where it appears that if you, at the time you built the base Knesses, you built a house on top of it specifically. The Shari Ladar, it's permitted to live there. The Zed Bavadai Lo Ukdash Klal Marcos. There's certainly no kedusha established in that place. I mean, Kol Makom Hishtamish Sham Tashmish Meguna Ma'od, and any place that you do something that's very disrespectful, Betinu Fukiyotsu Bezem, Karotsu is that near to call Gadne Aser. It appears, according to all opinions, is going to be Aser. Yalkain Ein Asos Klal Beskitzis Im Yesh Behadira Shalamala Mimenu Davar Maguna Kazet. And you wouldn't build a base Knesset in a house. You wouldn't set up a base Knesset in a house where there was some disrespectful use being done on the floor above it or the attic above it. Okay. V'ayin Shom Shekasav Nasev Zeh Harbe. We'll see where we wrote many of these things.
There's a great punishment for this.
Okay. Umash minhag ha'olam be'aros she'sochrin v'teknosis lizman b'batehem tachtehem. And what was written, generally written about in the city, in the countries where they sell the b'batei kenosis to build houses underneath them. Base dira, and there's an apartment or something above it. Shemotzi sham tinokos and mos. They find there are children and other disgusting things. Efsher mishum shehu lizman lo ha'ishana lazeh. Maybe because it's only done for a short period of time or fixed period of time, we don't worry about this. Lishkav olav, to sleep up there. We call makom shomer nafsho yarchik mihem. You should stay away from there. Ubiprat b'makom shehu neged ha'hechel. Certainly the space that's opposite the hechel.
Right. Yeah. So you have to be careful about it. I have to be careful about these. I mean, it's if you see these situations, sometimes as I mentioned, sometimes you see that they depends what came first, what was built first, what was the intention of building. So it depends on a lot of different details. Yeah. But in general, the shul shouldn't have anything on top of it, which is going to be like any type of living quarters or anything like that. It's going to because actually the Sharzine actually explains it. It's not exactly what the point of this all is. It's not exactly clear. Some say that it could be even interfere with the ability of the prayers to rise up. If they're being interfered with these non kedusha, these things which are not dealing with kedusha, that could interfere with the prayers of going up to Shemaim, so to speak. So something to be careful. But in general, most times people are careful about what these taking place, especially in Eretz Israel. Okay, Mirz Hashem. Tomorrow's Erev Shabbos, so I guess anyone who joins us for Chumash, we'll start 9:30 at Chumash, and you should all have a good afternoon. And Mirz Hashem, hope to see you next week. And have a good day, Mirz Hashem.
All right, have a good
Okay,
week of Shabbos,
very good.
everybody.
Thank you all. Very good, Ellie. Thank you
Be
very
well.
much.
Have a good Shabbos, Rabbi. Shabbos long.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.